And that's not all from our Attorney General, because today she is announcing her endorsement for a new national legislative act. And she's not alone in this endeavor. She's joining a 44-state coalition in the sponsoring of a bipartisan act that would propose the establishment of a commission that would both investigate and provide recommendations to police on how to better prevent crimes of child exploitation through AI use. In a statement alongside her endorsement, Murrill says in part, quote, "As technology changes, law enforcement techniques have to change with it. Artificial intelligence has given more tools to the most heinous of predators seeking to prey on our most precious possessions, our children.